The Seattle Mariners are vying for their first postseason berth since 2001. The postseason drought is legally able to drink as of this year. And while Seattle currently sits comfortably in the wildcard standings to have a playoff series in the new wildcard format, there is one player that they could add right now that would nearly guarantee that Seattle finally breaks its postseason drought. Now, the trade deadline has come and gone. We are well past the trade deadline. Luis Castillo is a Mariner, as well as Kurt Casale, Matthew Boyd, and Jake Lamb. All these things have come and passed. There is really no easy way to acquire a player right now. Of course, through waiver deadlines and stuff like that, it could happen, but there will be no trading for the rest of the year. The good news for the Seattle Mariners is that they already have this player in-house. And the biggest person that could have an impact on the Mariners the rest of the way is Jesse Winker. Also, can you name this former Mariner? Go ahead and leave in the comments down below who you think it is, and we'll have that coming up at the end of the video. Now, Winker has been in the league for 5 years, and this is absolutely the worst he has ever been in his entire major league career. And honestly, it's not even close. As you can see here, Winker is slashing 227, 337, 356, good for an OPS of 693 and an OPS plus of 103. Obviously, for OPS plus, the closer you are to 100, the worse you are. 100 is the base level for a player. In 2021, Winker had a 142 OPS, in 2020 a 139, in 2019 he did slump a little bit, slashing just a 269, 357, 473, good for an 830 OPS. He did also slug 16 home runs in that time, 6 more than he currently has. In 2018, he had a 125 OPS plus, and in 2017, a 132 OPS plus. Overall, Winker has been a 124 OPS plus player for the 6 years of his career. And it truly is astounding just to look at these numbers and then look at 2022 and say, man, this is just who Jesse Winker is now. There, in my opinion, is just no way that this is who Jesse Winker is now. Look at these numbers and tell me how any of this could translate to Seattle and him hitting like this. And looking at his MLB percentile rankings, yeah, you can tell that he has just really not been good. His walk percentage is in the 96th percentile, which is pretty solid. His K percentage, 70 percentile, pretty solid, but look at that hard hit rate. 13th percentile, which is absolutely atrocious. And honestly, when you look deeper into his StatCast batting statistics, it really doesn't look good there either. He has been a career 275 expected batting average hitter, but in 2022, he's averaging just a 252 expected batting average, easily the lowest of his career. And it really all starts here with this hard hit rate. Winker is down to a 32.2% hard hit rate, down from his career 41.1%, and in the past 2 years, he's been near the top 10% in the league in terms of hard hit rate. Now, Winker did play his home games in Great American Ballpark out in Cincinnati, which is definitely more of a hitter-friendly park than Seattle. As you look at his expected home runs by park, it was 29 last year inside of Great American Ballpark, but then if you go over to T-Mobile Park, it would have only been 24. And when you look at his hard hit percentage compared to last year, there is one glaring number on here. As you can see in 2021, we're between 42 and 52% in terms of hard hit percentage. But when you move on up to 2022, we're kind of all over the map here, with the highest being 42% on the splitter. Now, to be fair, he's only seen 29 splitters, so that has a really good chance of going down. But which one really stands out to you here? And that's gotta be the curveball at just 7.1%. Winker has an expected batting average of 187 on the curveball, and he has a K percentage of 20%. And as you can see, the curveball is the third most seen pitch for Winker this year at nearly 200 pitches. Jesse's also just punishing the fastball not nearly as much as he used to, this year at a 35.4% hard hit percentage, whereas last year he was at nearly 52% on his hard hit percentage. With the return of Mitch Haniger and Julio Rodriguez, as well as Taylor Trammell from the injured list soon, Winker may start to have to be vying for a spot on the field and as an everyday bat. With Julio firmly implanted in center field and Mitch Haniger and Kyle Lewis sharing time between right field and DH, that really just leaves left field for Winker and Taylor Trammell to figure out. Also, oddly enough, the platoon splits for Winker are absolutely insane. In 2021, he was hitting 346, 428, 642 against right-handed pitchers, good for an over 1,000 OPS, but against lefties, he was hitting just 176, 288, 284, good for a 572. He had 21 home runs last year against righties, just compared to 3 against lefties, but if you go to 2022, it almost seems like Winker has just absolutely changed that. Against lefties, he's hitting 258, 349, 441, good for a 790 OPS, whereas against righties, he's hitting 216, 333, 324 with a 657 OPS. With just 10 home runs on the season, Winker has 4 against lefties and 6 against righties. Maybe Jesse Winker changed his approach in the offseason to hopefully hit lefties a little bit better and not be strictly a platoon type player. But if he did, he greatly hampered himself against the right-handed pitcher himself, and honestly, that's just not what the Mariners need right now. If the Mariners could somehow, some way get this 2021 version of Jesse Winker back, they're all but guaranteed to be going to the playoffs. Was having somebody hitting 305, 394, 556 good for nearly a 1000 OPS? Yeah, I think that'll play. As the Mariners look to break their 21-year-old playoff drought, Jesse Winker is becoming more and more of a liability in that sense. I love the guy, his personality is fantastic for the team, but he eventually just needs to start putting up or shutting up. Don't be surprised if you start to see Winker losing some at-bats to Taylor Trammell and the like down the home stretch here as we get closer and closer to October. The Mariners want to make it back to the playoffs, and they need Jesse Winker to do it. The Mariners do, however, have a phenom center fielder named Julio Rodriguez. Now let's check out what makes him so special in this next video. Thanks for watching this one, and go Mariners.